Maria Sanchez stood at the kitchen sink, her hands submerged in soapy water as she scrubbed the last of the dinner plates. The small, two-bedroom apartment she shared with her son, Alex, was quiet, save for the occasional hum of traffic outside. It was a far cry from the lively household she had envisioned for them when Alex was born, but it was all she could afford. Maria had long since accepted that her dreams of a bigger house and a more comfortable life would remain just that, to dreams. "Mom, did you iron my shirt for tomorrow?" Alex's voice interrupted her thoughts. He stood in the doorway, a lanky figure with dark, intense eyes that always seemed to be calculating something. "Yes, honey. It's hanging in your closet," Maria replied with a tired smile. She dried her hands on a dish towel and turned to face him. "Are you ready for the big interview?" Alex nodded, a flicker of excitement breaking through his usual calm demeanor. "Yeah, I've been practicing all week. This could be it, Mom. A full scholarship to Stanford." Maria's heart swelled with pride. She had worked so hard to get Alex to this point. Long hours cleaning houses, working night shifts at the diner, and taking on any extra job she could find. Every penny she earned went towards Alex's education. She had given up so much, but seeing him succeed made it all worthwhile. "You'll do great," Maria said, reaching out to squeeze his shoulder. "I know you will." "Thanks, Mom," Alex said, his voice softening. "I couldn't have done it without you." Maria watched as Alex disappeared into his room. She sighed, glancing at the clock. It was already past midnight, and she had to be up in a few hours for her first job of the day. She sank into a chair, exhaustion washing over her. But it was a familiar feeling, one she had learned to push through for Alex's sake. The next morning, Maria was up before dawn, her body moving on autopilot as she prepared breakfast. She left a note for Alex, wishing him luck, and headed out the door. The bus ride to her first job was long and bumpy, but Maria used the time to catch a few moments of rest. Her first stop was Mrs. Thompson's house, a sprawling mansion in the suburbs. Maria had been cleaning for the Thompsons for nearly a decade. They were kind, but distant, treating her more like part of the furniture than a person. She didn't mind, it was steady work, and she needed every dollar. "Good morning, Maria," Mrs. Thompson greeted her as she walked in. "There's a lot to do today. We're hosting a dinner party tonight." "Of course, Mrs. Thompson," Maria replied, forcing a smile. She set to work immediately, scrubbing floors, dusting shelves, and polishing silverware until everything gleamed. As she worked, Maria's mind drifted to Alex. She pictured him sitting in the interview, his confident smile and sharp mind impressing the admissions officers. She knew he could do it. He had always been exceptional, even as a child. Maria's sacrifices were a small price to pay for his future. By the time Maria returned home that evening, she was bone-tired. She unlocked the door and stepped inside, expecting to find Alex waiting with news about his interview. Instead, the apartment was empty and silent. A pang of worry shot through her. It wasn't like Alex to be out so late without telling her. She checked her phone for any messages and found none. Trying to shake off the unease, Maria busied herself with preparing dinner. Just as she was setting the table, the front door creaked open, and Alex walked in. "Alex. How did it go?" Maria asked, her voice brimming with anticipation. Alex shrugged, dropping his backpack on the floor. "It went fine, I guess. They asked a lot of questions." Maria frowned, sensing something was off. "Just fine? Did they say when you'll hear back?" "Yeah, in a couple of weeks," Alex replied curtly. He grabbed a plate of food and headed to his room without another word. Maria stood frozen, the excitement draining from her. She had hoped for more enthusiasm, more shared joy. She couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed. The weeks passed, and Maria's concerns grew. Alex became more withdrawn, spending long hours away from home and barely speaking to her. When the letter from Stanford finally arrived, he opened it alone in his room. Maria waited anxiously in the living room, her heart pounding. Eventually, Alex emerged, his face unreadable. He handed her the letter, and Maria's eyes scanned the words quickly. Congratulations. Full scholarship. She looked up, tears of joy in her eyes. Alex, you did it. I'm so proud of you. She exclaimed, reaching out to hug him. But Alex stepped back, avoiding her embrace. Thanks, Mom, he said, his voice distant. I've got a lot to think about. I need some space. Maria's heart ached at his coldness. She watched as he retreated to his room once more, closing the door behind him. Something was deeply wrong, but she couldn't understand what had changed. Days turned into weeks, and the gap between Maria and Alex widened. She heard through the grapevine that Alex had been spending time with a new group of friends from school, wealthier, more privileged kids who didn't have to work for everything they had. Maria's attempts to talk to Alex about it were met with frustration and anger. One evening, as Maria was preparing dinner, Alex stormed into the kitchen. Mom, can we talk? Maria turned to him, wiping her hands on her apron. Of course, Alex. What's on your mind? Alex looked away, his jaw clenched. I've been thinking a lot about Stanford. I think it's best if I start fresh there. On my own. Maria's heart sank. What do you mean, on your own? I mean, I don't want you visiting me or calling all the time, Alex said, his voice harsh. I need to fit in, and having you around makes that hard. Maria felt as if she had been punched in the gut. Alex, everything I've done for you. How can you say that? Alex's eyes were cold. I didn't ask for your sacrifices, Mom. I need to be my own person now. Tears welled up in Maria's eyes, but she held them back. If that's what you want, Alex, I'll respect your wishes. But remember, I'm always here for you. No matter what. Alex nodded curtly and left the kitchen, leaving Maria standing alone, her heart shattered. She had given everything for her son, and now, it seemed, she had lost him. As the door to Alex's room closed, Maria sank into a chair, feeling the weight of her sacrifices pressing down on her. The bright future she had dreamed of for Alex was now clouded with uncertainty and pain. And deep down, she feared that the worst was yet to come. The summer before Alex left for Stanford was a blur of preparations and awkward silences. Maria threw herself into extra shifts, determined to save enough to give Alex a comfortable start. But no matter how hard she worked, the growing distance between them gnawed at her heart. One evening, Maria sat at the small dining table, sorting through a pile of bills. She heard the door open and looked up to see Alex walk in, his face flushed with excitement. Mom, guess what? I got a job offer from a tech company in Palo Alto. It's part-time, but the pay is great, Alex announced, a rare smile lighting up his face. Maria's heart swelled with pride. That's wonderful, Alex. I'm so happy for you. Alex's smile faded slightly. There's just one thing, they want me to start as soon as I get to Stanford. I'll be busy with work and school, so it might be hard to stay in touch. Maria nodded, swallowing the lump in her throat. I understand. Just promise me you'll take care of yourself, okay? Alex's eyes softened for a moment. I will, Mom. Thanks for everything. The day Alex left for Stanford, Maria felt an overwhelming mix of pride and sorrow. She watched as he loaded his belongings into the car, a sense of finality hanging in the air. Alex gave her a quick hug before driving away, leaving Maria standing on the curb, tears streaming down her face. Life without Alex was a void Maria struggled to fill. She worked even harder, but the long hours only deepened her loneliness. Every corner of the apartment reminded her of Alex, from the trophies on the shelves to the empty bedroom that once buzzed with his presence. One evening, as Maria was finishing her shift at the diner, she overheard a conversation between two regulars. Did you hear about that new company? They're paying big bucks for housecleaning services in the Silicon Valley area. Might be worth checking out. Maria's ears perked up. A new cleaning job in Palo Alto could be a chance to be closer to Alex, to bridge the growing chasm between them. She decided to take the plunge. A month later, Maria stood outside a sleek, modern office building in Palo Alto, clutching a flyer for the cleaning service job. She took a deep breath and walked inside, determined to make this work. The interview went smoothly, and Maria was hired on the spot. Her new job involved cleaning the offices of tech companies, including the very company where Alex worked. She hoped this would give her a chance to reconnect with him, to show him she was still part of his life. Maria's first day on the job was a whirlwind of activity. As she cleaned the sleek glass windows and polished the chrome fixtures, she caught glimpses of young professionals hustling through the halls, their faces lit with ambition. It reminded her of Alex, and she felt a pang of longing. During a break, Maria sat in the employee lounge, sipping a cup of coffee. She heard footsteps and looked up to see a young woman with bright blue hair and a friendly smile approaching her. "Hi, I'm Jenna. You're new here, right?" the woman asked, extending a hand. "Yes, I'm Maria." "Nice to meet you," Maria replied, shaking her hand. Jenna sat down beside her. "I saw you earlier, cleaning the executive offices. Tough gig, huh?" Maria nodded. "It's hard work, but it's worth it." Jenna leaned in, lowering her voice. "You know, I've seen you before. You're Alex Sanchez's mom, right? He works here too." Maria's heart skipped a beat. "Yes, he does. Do you know him?" Jenna shrugged. "A little. He mostly keeps to himself, but he's always working late. Maybe you could catch him after hours." Maria's mind raced with possibilities. She thanked Jenna and resolved to stay late that evening, hoping for a chance to see Alex. As the office emptied out and the evening grew quiet, Maria moved through the halls, cleaning the last of the offices. She glanced at her watch, wondering if Alex was still around. Just as she was about to give up, she spotted him in a conference room, absorbed in his work. Gathering her courage, Maria knocked softly on the door. "Alex?" Alex looked up, surprise flashing across his face. "Mom? What are you doing here?" "I got a job here, cleaning the offices," Maria explained, stepping inside. "I wanted to be closer to you." Alex's expression hardened. "Mom, you can't just show up like this. I have my own life now." Maria's heart ached at his words. "I know, Alex. I miss you. We used to be so close." Alex sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I miss you too, Mom, but it's different now. I'm trying to fit in here, and it's hard enough without." "Without what?" "Without me?" Maria's voice trembled with emotion. "Everything I did for you. I sacrificed so much. I know, and I'm grateful, but I need space. I need to make my own way," Alex said, his voice softening. Maria nodded, tears brimming in her eyes. "Okay, Alex. I'll give you space. Just remember, I'm always here for you." Alex looked down, his expression unreadable. "Thanks, Mom." The following weeks were a blur of hard work and heartache for Maria. She focused on her job, trying to keep her mind off Alex. But the pain of their estrangement gnawed at her, making every day a struggle. One evening, as Maria was leaving the office, she overheard a conversation that sent a chill down her spine. Jenna was talking to another employee, her voice urgent. "Did you hear? Alex Sanchez has been hanging out with that new crowd, those rich kids who are always partying. They're bad news." Maria's heart sank. She knew Alex was trying to fit in, but this was the last thing she wanted for him. She decided she had to do something, to reach out to him before it was too late. That night, Maria waited outside the office building, hoping to catch Alex. She spotted him walking out with a group of well-dressed young people, their laughter echoing in the night air. "Alex, can we talk?" Maria called out, stepping forward. Alex's face tightened with irritation. "Mom, not now. Please, Alex. I heard you're hanging out with a bad crowd. I'm worried about you," Maria said, her voice trembling. One of Alex's friends, a tall, arrogant-looking guy, snickered. "Who's this, Alex? Your maid. Maria's cheeks flushed with embarrassment, but she stood her ground. I'm his mother. And I'm concerned. Alex's face turned red with anger and humiliation. I told you to stay out of my life, Mom. Just leave me alone. Maria felt a sharp stab of pain in her chest. She watched as Alex and his friends walked away, their laughter ringing in her ears. Days turned into weeks, and Maria's hope dwindled. She threw herself into her work, trying to forget the rift between her and Alex. But the pain was always there, a constant reminder of her shattered dreams. One evening, as Maria was cleaning an office, she found a crumpled piece of paper on the floor. She smoothed it out and saw it was a letter from Stanford, addressed to Alex. Her eyes scanned the words, and she felt her heart drop. Dear Mr. Sanchez. We regret to inform you that your scholarship has been revoked due to academic probation. Please contact the financial aid office for further assistance. Maria's mind raced with worry. She had no idea Alex was struggling so much. Determined to help, she decided to confront him. That night, she waited outside his apartment, the letter clutched in her hand. When Alex finally appeared, she stepped forward, holding out the letter. Alex, why didn't you tell me? Maria asked, her voice filled with concern. Alex's face paled as he saw the letter. Mom, how did you get this? It was on the floor at the office. Alex, why didn't you tell me you were in trouble? Maria's eyes searched his face for answers. Alex sighed, running a hand through his hair. I didn't want to burden you. You've done enough for me. Maria's heart ached at his words. Alex, you're my son. I want to help you. Please, let me in. Alex looked down, his shoulders slumping. I messed up, Mom. I got caught up in the wrong crowd, and my grades slipped. Now I don't know what to do. Maria stepped closer, reaching out to touch his arm. We'll figure it out together. You're not alone, Alex. Alex's eyes filled with tears as he looked at her. I'm sorry, Mom. For everything. Maria pulled him into a tight embrace, her own tears falling. It's okay, Alex. We'll get through this. I promise. As they stood there, holding each other, Maria felt a glimmer of hope. It would be a long, hard road, but she was determined to help Alex find his way back. For the first time in a long time, she felt like they were a team again, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. If you enjoyed this story and want to follow Maria and Alex's journey, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue bringing you heartfelt stories. Thank you for watching.